Welcome back. It's been a bit. A lot's been going on. You saw the last few videos. There was some unexpected travel out of the country, but that was quite fun and I had a good time. But I'm back now and we got to try to wrap up this Chevy. A lot of things are going on in the background for future projects, for happenings, so to speak. So there'll be more on that later, but I guess right now we're going to try to figure out wiring. So let's get at it. I showed it before, but this is the kit we're using from American Autowire. It's going to have a lot more circuits than what we actually need because we're going quite basic with our setup. Previously I did get everything mounted up in the firewall here, so I just have a bunch of wires that I need to run everywhere. If you look on these wires, this wiring kit has every wire labeled, usually like every 3-6 inches, something like that. Very beneficial, very awesome. The instructions are very detailed. These things are pretty awesome. Kind of see how everything's laid out. Very cool. So I guess it's time to get into it. All right, sitting here to go through this little bird nest. I think I got these separated out. Okay, so separating what I don't need from this harness. I got the wipers, and I got turn signals because I'm going to use my hands. Heat and air, obviously I don't need that, but we're going to leave it in there just in case. So what I'm going to do is just kind of roll these up, zip tie them, and then I'll hide them up in the dash somewhere. And let all these in. And then that's one less chunk of wires I need to figure out. Let's do a little small roll. Black is ground, yellow is tail light or running light, blue is stop and turn. So here, we gotta get the brown wire. Need to get that for our lights and our license plate. And then, okay, let me go through this bird nest and figure out which wires I need for the rear. All right, this is our LED kit. I've sorted through all the wiring, so it shouldn't be too bad. This yellow, well, the black goes to ground, obviously. This yellow one I'm going to connect for our running lights, and then the blue will be for our stops, so that'll go to our switch. And then the LED, this has a white LED into it that just gets powered, that goes for the license plate, so we're covered on that. Here's a little bundle of wiring that we're not going to use for this install. And here's everything for the front, for the high beams, low beams, all that kind of stuff. So we got everything kind of sorted there. I did show you this wiring here. I ran out of end caps. Heat shrink, so those will be here tomorrow, so I can get that done and then get that tucked up and out of the way, kind of clean that up. And then in here we still have our gauges, our ignition, starter, alternator, and our GPS and everything else. Well, probably won't get you in here too much to see the little wiring connectors and stuff, so I'm gonna get some stuff done. If there's something I need to show you, I'll show you, but once I'm done with a certain part, then I'll show you that I'm done with it. Just kind of work this out and see what we can do. So I'll be back in a minute. So I'm making some extensions here for these wires. It goes through a little grommet back here in the back, but they're too short for me to work on in the inside, so I'm just putting some extensions on them real quick, and then we can do some connections on the inside.
Three hours later.
Well, we've been going at it for sure. See, I got the dash part, pretty much have everything pretty close to wired up. I have some grounds I still need to work out. I'm getting ready to work on the ignition here in a minute. I got all these spliced together and running up to the fuse panel, lighting switch. That's all the way wired up. So I'm just going to keep working at it, but there's really nothing to show you while I'm working on this part. If you do a lot of wiring, you probably have a pair of strippers like this. But if you do a lot, you need to get a pair of these where it automatically sits it in. You don't have to worry about it. You can set the depth of how deep you want it, and it does it perfect every time, no matter what size you have, anything like that. You have this adjuster here where you can adjust it out for the depth. But yeah, and if you don't have a pair of these, get you a pair, very time saving, and it's perfect. And also for my connectors, I just got this from Amazon, but they're heat shrink connectors in a bunch of different sizes. I mean, it's got the hoops or the lips and everything else. I mean, this thing's pretty slick. I think it was like 20 bucks for all this, but time saver, and it's nice and clean. You can kind of see how I got it. If you crimp them, and I have a special crimper for it too that you can buy. I think it came with it, but yeah, pretty awesome. Nice and clean. All right, I'm gonna keep at it and keep going. Tail light's done. All right, I'll see you in a minute. Here's another good little bit of kit. These are end caps that heat shrink, a bunch of different sizes. It's covered on the end. Stick it in, heat shrink it, and it's covered it up. Oh. Okay, so we have a 12-volt battery source. Got that clipped off that I'm not going to use for this. This bundle have heat and air, a wiper, turn signal hazard. What else we got in here? Is that it? So I'm going to cap these off real quick. And these are just those heat shrink. Pretty slick. I like these. Better using the household wire butt connectors. So have use these on the chassis. They're these little magnetized wiring clips. They're pretty strong. You just put a zip tie on them, and then you can just tie them up. Like that. It's pretty slick, pretty strong. So, all right, let me get all this wrapped up and cleaned up some. All right, we got a bundle. I'm gonna put this zip tie on with magnets. So I'm gonna have 2 magnets holding this, kind of top and bottom. Let's see here. I'm gonna cut it. This goes out of the way. And then I'm trying to get it up here pretty high. Oh, those are nice magnets. Oh. There, that's tucked up out of the way. All right, so kind of see we got 2 magnets on the back side. Those are the ones we're not going to be using. This is a group we are going to be using. Most of this runs to our dash. So I'm going to go ahead, I want to get the ignition switch wired. And then once that's wired, I can get that back into here and then get this cleaned up before I run the stuff to the front of the car. Got a lot of the mess cleaned up. Probably 75% of the wiring is completed. I got everything zip tied, tied up, looped up. It looks a little hectic, but it's actually kind of clean. It looks pretty good, actually. A little bit more from this side. All that spool there is unused, so we can use future stuff. I have a few things going through the firewall, but I got a few more to go. But I think it looks pretty good. And from out here, nice and clean. These still have to be done. Have to run to the coil or to the distributor, which got the built-in coil, and then some battery stuff, and then up for the fans and things like that. So this is kind of cleaned up. This is good, out of the way. But now we got this open. I'm going to take a break on the wiring just for a little bit to give my mind a little bit to rest. I have the big rubber mat that I'm going to make a template laying here so I can get that cut. The seat is going to go out in probably like two weeks. I think it'll be ready. And he said it'll probably take about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks to get it completed. It's going to be in a black distressed vinyl, so that'll look kind of cool. But I'm going to go ahead and get the mat in. That way that's done. Yeah, man, it's hot. All right, let me get this template and then I'll show you what I got. Quick update template. Got pretty much half of it done. Worked out for our bolts that go through and bolt to the frame, our whole subsection here, this whole rear end can unbolt from the chassis. I got our holes for our seat belt, for our seat, that seat belt there. To that side, we're going to have the rubber going around here and up into the back. I'll have this piece through here. We have our battery compartment over here that the top part will probably be Velcroed, and we can flip it back when we need to get to that. This side will be the same, even though we don't need to access it, but it can come off. And then I'll probably put a piece right through the tunnel. So halfway done, need to work on the other side, and then we'll get it cut out. Template is made for the floor liner. So now I just need to take this out, transfer it to our rubber roll, and cut it out and see what we got. Well, let's see. I think I messed up. I think I flipped the template the wrong way. And if I did, I'm gonna have to redo it. But we'll see. I sure did. Damn it. Well, if you notice, it fits perfect, except this is supposed to be up. So when I flip this upside down, so I could mark, since I couldn't mark on these ribs, I didn't flip my template. So I have a full-size template. This is the wrong way now. So I had to cut it again. So I'll be right back. Hopefully this works, because I don't have any more of it. Fingers crossed. I know I'm probably pretty sure I'll have to do a little trimming. Let me get the other side. I had it perfect in the shade. Everything else. That looks pretty good there. Okay, that looks good. Looks good. I had to get it to lay out here. Those holes look good there. That looks good. I didn't look at those holes. Those holes look good. All right. So if you look, see how that's nice and smooth? And this is the rib side. That's what we wanted, but I cut it out wrong. All right, so that'll go tight into there. Oh, look, that looks pretty good. There, and I'll probably end up putting some Velcro back on here to make these stay up, but I'm gonna let it hang out in here for a little bit to unkink. But holes all line up fine. These two are for the seat to bolt through the floor. That's for seat belt. Those two are for seat belt, and the one over there is for seat belt. So I'll probably put Velcro here, probably under here in a few spots, and then over there probably the same, because I'll have to be able to rip that back or pull that back so I can get to my battery box there. But whew, it looks pretty good. I like it. Yeah. These waves will go out. That's just where it was rolled. So we'll let it sit here for a little bit. It's supposed to be nice and hot today. If you can't tell, I'm soaked because I was in the shade. but now it's not. So the first one was cut in the shade, worked well. Dang. I was excited because I had a whole bunch of leftovers. I was going to try to use it for maybe for the running boards. Yeah, I'll figure out something else, but all right, I'm gonna get some water. I'll be back in a minute. Whew. It's been a week. So wiring, we're probably 80% done. We still need to do pretty much the front of the car, headlights, and some of the engine stuff. Then we'll be good on that. The floor mat, getting that in for the second time since I messed up like an idiot. Man, that looks awesome. Next video, we're gonna get into probably trying to finish the wiring. It's my goal, I hope, at least. Stuff really hurts my head for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. It is what it is. But anyway, I need to work on the steering wheel. The seat should be going out the end of next week to get upholstered. So that's a big bonus. And then once I get the wiring done, I can throw the drive shaft in. That'll be good. We can fill it up with the fluids, trans, engine, coolant, and I need to make the other door panel. Dang it, I forgot about that. But after that, should be able to do our first start on this bad boy, see what we got. So fingers crossed on that. But I appreciate you all watching. If you got any comments, questions, please send them. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out greatly to try to get this out and grow the channel. Yeah, so with that, I guess I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. See ya.